साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुंडलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to tonight's Sahaja Yoga meditation session. And this is actually going to be the last of our follow-ups as such, but don't worry, because we're going to be back again next week, once a week. Instead of Tuesdays and Fridays, we're going to be coming to you once a week on Wednesdays. So same time, depending on what time zone you're in, but on Wednesdays. And the new series, I mean, really it's just a continuation of what we're doing, but we've called it Going Deeper in Meditation. And it's going to include people from different parts of Australia that you've met if you've been a part of the 21-day series, this one and other ones as well. So more about that as we go along. But first of all, I'd just like to say hi to my co-host for tonight, Tyrone. G'day, Tyrone.
Hey, Richard.
How are you?
I'm well. I'm well.
That's great. So we're actually, Tyrone was going to be presenting tonight and Leah was going to be the co-host. But we've got a new presenter for you tonight, and that's Troy. And we're thrilled to have Troy joining us. G'day, Troy.
Just unmute yourself there, Troy.
There we go.
Sorry. Hello, Richard. Hi, Tyrone. Hello, everyone.
Howdy. Nice to see you there, Troy. And as I said, Troy is joining us as part of this series for the first time. Troy is been doing Sahaja Yoga for how long, Troy?
2005, I think, or 2004. I got realization and practiced Sahaja Yoga. So yeah, since 15 years, I think, is it? Probably, yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time, isn't it? And Troy lives in the southwest of Western Australia, in a beautiful, very famous spot called Margaret River. If you're a if you know anything about surfing, you will have heard of Margaret River. In fact, the Australian Championships in Margaret River have just been there recently. Is that right, Troy?
It's the professional surfing, like
Yeah.
River Pro, they call it. So it's just the world professional surfers are here, right at surfing the main break. So I watched it today live streaming. It was quite big. That
Wow.
challenging condition. Yeah, but they're all from professional. They got travel around the world and do contests all throughout the world. So it's their stop now in Margaret River. So yeah, that's our claim.
So they're there right now.
Yes.
Yeah, and of course we were Troy, Tyrone, myself, and Leah and others that you know that have been fortunate enough to be presenting these sessions. We're all down last week in that part of the world, in Busselton, which is just north of Margaret River. And you may have seen us and the families that were there as part of the Tuesday session last week while we were there. So here we are today, and we're going to be, or Troy's going to be mainly taking us through tonight's topic. So maybe just like to give us a bit of an introduction to that, Troy, and we'll have a bit of a...
It's a challenging topic, I found. The truth and mental projection. So it was quite a difficult topic, but it's quite a vast, could be a lot of interpretations, I guess, of what truth is and mental projections. There's a lot to it, but I guess the spiritual side of things, it narrows it down quite a bit, like just what the truth is with our spiritual side of life. And Sahaja Yoga, we talk about the spirit, and in the Shri Mataji's talk, should be talking about basically truths to do with the spirit, and that's what we're more focusing on, because there's so many truths out there, and there's so many confusions and so many different points of view on religion and also anything, politics. There's always opinions on everything. So that's the mental projection part. So that's why it can be quite challenging to actually narrow down like a specific truth. But with the Sahaja Yoga, we do have a specific truths that we follow, and Shri Mataji has given us awakened this energy and the spiritual connection. We sort of have a universal idea of truth, and that's what we'll be dealing with in this, or tonight's topic, and with Shri Mataji's talks, and hopefully we'll clarify a little bit of that throughout the night.
Yeah, exactly. And it's almost like when I looked at it, it's like truth is basically the opposite of mental projection.
In spiritual side, it is, yes. Spiritually,
yeah.
Sure.
So if you're still projecting mentally, then you think it's the truth, but it's not the truth until you go beyond the mind.
Yeah, I think Troy touched it on quite nicely there. There's so many opinions out there, and I guess at the core of it, when we're using our mind, when we just have to look around, that you can really just reach any conclusion at all. Just every conclusion, and people are using their mind, and they reach absolutely any and every conclusion doing that. And with Sahaja Yoga, where we got our attention at Sahasrara and we stop thinking, we go beyond the mind. And the truth we learn is not a mental truth at all, but it's not a mental projection. And I guess that truth is just literally the meditation. It's not really something that someone can tell you. It's the truth that you experience.
Spot on, exactly, yeah. So, Troy, maybe just tell us a bit about vibrational awareness, because that's the truth, isn't it? It's that absolute truth that we feel, and that, as Tyrone said, it's beyond the mind. It's not relative. It's absolute, and you either feel it or you don't.
Yeah, that's right. So I guess what Tyrone was saying too is we all feel the same thing. So that's why we all understand the same truth in Sahaja Yoga, because we experience the meditation together collectively, and we do feel the vibrations. We feel the thoughtless awareness. We feel the bliss and our chakras. We all feel a common
Experience.
Yeah, we all have the common experience. So that's why we can all feel a similar truth. We can come to the same conclusion because we're all having the same experience and same, yes, we're sort of connected with each other as well through the spiritual meditation. So we have, it's quite different than using our brain, like Tyron was saying. We can just rationalize anything from our own experience, like upbringings, conditionings, ego. So that's why it's very hard to establish truth in the outside world. But through the meditation, we have the same experience. So we can get to the truth a lot easier, and we actually all understand it a lot simpler, you know, and we sort of agree on it, I guess.
No, that's right. And so we have, you know, the ego and the superego, which basically the mind is made up of those two things. And when we go beyond our ego on the one hand and our conditionings on the other, through this Kundalini awakening, then as Tyrone was saying, we get up, you know, it's only a difference of a few centimeters, but it makes, you know, a universe of difference, whether you're stuck here, whether you're actually, you know, sort of stuck in the ceiling, or you're on the roof and you can sort of see things clearly, you know, just to use another metaphor there. So maybe we'll hand over to you now, Troy, because you're going to take us through a guided meditation. And then after that, we're going to listen to Shri Mataji's talk. And then after that, we're going to have some footage of a river in Cabela in Italy, where Shri Mataji has a house, and people would go there and they would foot soak in the river. And those of you who've been doing this 21-day series for some time may have even had an experience of doing a foot soak or learnt about it. It's basically when we put our feet into water while we do the meditation. And so we're going to, as a special treat tonight, I suppose, we're going to at least, you know, online, we're going to be going to Cabela and having a virtual foot soak while listening to the sound of the river in that very beautiful part of the world. And then we'll come back and we'll compare our notes, compare our experiences and so on. So maybe we'll hand over to you now, Troy, to do the guided meditation, and then we'll go from there.
No problem. So we should start with raising our Kundalini and putting on a bandhan. We haven't done that yet, have we? So we can all start to do that. Whoever's here in the room. So just raise our Kundalini.
Maybe we can just have Troy there on the screen reader so that we can do the guided meditation.
So as Richard was talking about with the foot soaking, that's one thing I thought is very appropriate, because a lot of the problems are in our stomach, and foot soaking is really clearing for our stomach and navi. And that's a very useful technique. So virtual foot soaking is very appropriate, because if we have false knowledge, I guess the truth is like a lot of the masters have come to help us, and we have like 10 masters in our stomach area, 10 gurus. So that's the void is like the ocean of illusion. So it's we have to cross it to get to the truth. So if we have a caught up area in this stomach area, it is very difficult to actually get to the truth, and we might be following something that's not so good for us, and we might not understand what we need to be doing to reach truth. So we could be following wrong practices. Just seeing some false guru or just false knowledge. So this is all affecting our navi. So the foot soak is really, really helpful to clear that navi. And you've probably done foot soaking before, and it's a really, really good technique to use quite often, regularly, daily, if you can, or even just in the ocean or in the river. If you're outside in nature, on the wet grass, is really helpful for the navi. So that's a big area, I guess, that we need to. It's our well-being, our nourishment, our feeling of satisfaction, generosity, peace. It's all in our navi, stomach area. So if we can get that area clean, then it's going to be a lot easier on our spiritual journey, and everything's easier. So just want to let you know about that area. Just maybe we can just focus on our navi, and we can do some in our meditation. We'll do a bit of clearing in this area. So maybe we just start. We can use the earth element. Just can put your hands on the Mother Earth, and we can just ask the Mother Earth just to help us to become balanced, to clear any imbalances that we may be feeling, just to get grounded, just to take out any negativity or any imbalances. We use a mantra for Shri Ganesha. He's the deity that resides over our Muladhara and protects us, removes obstacles from our ascent. So we can just say the mantra for Shri Ganesha. We'll say it 4 times. Shri Ganesha, Shri Adishakti, Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devi, Saksha, Shri Ganesha, Saksha, Shri Adishakti, Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devi, Saksha, Shri Ganesha, Saksha, Shri Adishakti, Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devi, Namo Saksha, Shri Ganesha, Saksha, Shri Adishakti, Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devi, Namo. You just have your left hand on your lap, the right hand on Mother Earth, and just clear the left channel. So just allow the negativity from the left side, conditionings in the past, just to be absorbed by the Mother Earth. And just put your hand back on your lap, and we'll just clear the balance the right side. So just put your hand up, the left hand up, facing your shoulder like a chimney. So the heat from the right side can come out through the top of the fingers into the ether element that's all around. And we'll just say Shri Maha Saraswati Hanuman. Om Vani Vasacha Shri Mataji Saraswati Anumana Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Mother, please clear my right side. Help cool down any heat in my liver, any excess thinking, planning, or any irritations in my body. Clear out on the right side, please, Shri Mataji. So you bring your hand back down, and we can just raise some strands of Kundalini. So just scoop up from the base of your spine to the top of your head, just 3 times. Just bring up and try to have your attention in your hand, like you're bringing your awareness up with your hand, and just to the top of your head. Just slowly raise this Kundalini energy that we want to come up all the way up, nourishing all the chakras and running, coming up top of the head. Just helps bring your awareness above your head. So we'll just move up from the Muladhara, the base chakra. We'll just go to the Swadhisthana. So we just work on the lower sort of chakras here. So Swadhisthana is another one that's very important in our meditation, for our thinking, and just planning, and this can help us if it's overactive. It can help us like not have a good meditation, I guess. So we can clear the Swadhisthana. We can say that we'll just work on the center. So just give it vibrations from the front, just spinning clockwise direction. And we'll just go a little bit higher from the base of the spine, Swadhisthana. And we'll just say Brahmadevi, Shri Brahmadevi Saraswati. Swami Vasacha Shri Brahmadevi Saraswati Sacha Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namaha. Please help me to have pure attention, pure knowledge, pure wisdom. While you're meditating, remember to take deep breaths through your nose. Nice, deep, long breaths if you can, or you don't have to breathe forcefully, but just allow your breath to come in through your nose. That's very good for heart chakra, the ether, the air element through your nose, the breathing. So just remember, every now and then you might want to have a nice deep breath just to help the heart expand. And now we go up to the void area where I spoke of before. It's like an illusion, ocean of illusion, they call it. And we have this is where our mastery, our like all the 10 gurus, like I said before. So the knowledge of seeking, the right conduct, the dharma, all those qualities of just good conduct and being peaceful, generous, and our peace and satisfaction. So if you just want to give this a rub on the navi area, or you can just give it vibrations in the front. Just breathe into it. Nice deep breath. Bring your attention in this area. And you can just say to this chakra, Adi Guru Dattatreya is a mantra you can use. Om Mani Vasacha Shri Adi Guru Dattatreya Sacha Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Mataji Please help me to be peaceful, generous. Give me spiritual knowledge so that I understand myself and my ascent. Just like bring your hand up to your heart. And just again, we'll do a little bit of breathing. Just center heart. So just, you can ask Mother, please let me feel my spirit in my heart. Because we know this spirit resides in our heart. So you can just try to feel that energy in our heart, the love of the universal power that's looking after us, the love for ourselves, the love for others, the love for this collectivity that we can meditate collectively together and just feel one in this spiritual journey. And our Mother Shri Mataji for bringing this gift to us, to humanity. Just we have thanks and gratitude. We will just say the mantra, Shri Durga Jagadamba, the protector of this center heart, gives us fearlessness, courageousness, confidence. Om Mani Vasacha Shri Durga Jagadamba Sacha Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah. Another few deep breaths. I am the Spirit. We'll just wake up a few more chakras because I feel like we can just do the Agnya. But before we do that, I just want to do another chakra you might not have heard of, the Lalita chakra. It's just between above the heart and the Vishuddhi. It's just in between these. It's like a very small chakra. It's not often dealt with, but it has some like some of the catches is to do with lack of fear of God, can be caused by false gurus, and also one feels that one can intellectually know and possess God. So that sort of fits in with this theme of using our intellect or mental projections. So if we try to conceptualize God with our intellect, that can cause this chakra to be quite blocked. So that I think it's a good one just to sort of work on while we're doing this meditation, just for this reason. And also, once this chakra is caught, people forget the desire, the spirit, and become attached to sensual and material pleasures. So this, it's saying if this chakra is caught up, then you do lose a sense of spiritual purpose and your spirit. So, and become quite materialistic and sensual. So a lot of the modern world is designed around this materialism and just, I guess, bombarding our senses. So this area could get off balance quite easily. So you can just put your hand on just above your left heart, just where I've got it, if you can see it, or just below you, between your heart and your shoulder. So we'll just say Lalita chakra. Like this is what the mantra is. We'll just say the mantra for this chakra. Om Lalita Saksha Shri Lalita chakra Swami Saksha Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namo. Please help me with my spiritual ascent. Feel my spirit. To be detached from the intellect, from the desires, the material world. You might feel a bit of opening. Like I just felt some opening. You take a nice deep breath. It might help that top area to open out. So just finally, just do the Agnya. Just put your hand on your forehead. And this is the small gate we have to cross over. We have to open this gate for the left and right channel to cross over. So with humility and forgiveness and compassion, we can allow this Kundalini pass through. It's another thing of the modern world. It's very easy for this one to get blocked. So we just say here, Mother, I forgive myself. I forgive everyone. So forgiveness is the key to the opening of the chakra. You can say the mantra for Sri Jesus Mary. Shri Jesus Mary Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi. Just want to bring your hand up above your head, on top of your head. As Richard said earlier, we're going beyond this mind chakra, the Agnya. We want to be above it, where we can feel this truth in our central nervous system, the truth of vibrations and connection of union, yoga with the divine. So you might want to lift your hand a little bit above your head. And this is the truth that we talk about, or Shri Mataji talks about. She has shown us that there is an all-pervading power, and you are the spirit, and you can connect with this spirit and this all-pervading power. This energy, you can feel it awaken above you, on your hands, and above your head, like a fountain, cool breeze, or it can be warm coming out, just clearing. And we're all connected to this energy in Sahaja Yoga. So we all experience the same truth. We all understand what is truth, what is reality, not what our mind thinks. It's something greater, something higher. So with that, you can bring your hand down and we'll just have a bit of meditation. I think later they'll put the talk on soon, and we can also stay in meditation when the talk is on, which Mataji can explain. And I'm sure afterwards we'll do a bit of continue the meditation with the foot soaking in Kabbalah music or water sound. But just try to relax and keep your attention above your head and just enjoy being in the moment. If you're having thoughts, you can say, not this thought, thank you, or forgive this thought. And also every now and then you can just bring up Kundalini, touch the top of your head if you're having thoughts, just to bring your attention back up. I forgive this thought.
I bow to all the seekers of truth. I came to San Diego long time back, and I'm very happy to come back here. When we talk of truth, we have to understand that truth is not what we understand through our mental projections. Mostly the mental projections give us illusions. There is no reality behind it. Truth is an experience of the central nervous system. For example, if this is cold, I can feel it. It is cold. Even if a child touches this, it can feel it. It is cold. If it is hot, we can feel it on central nervous system that it is hot. In the same way, the truth is to be known on central nervous system, not through mental projections. While we live on mental projections, some people come and talk about truth. We think he's the man standing on truth. He represents truth. Somebody talks about compassion. We believe he's very compassionate. He's very peaceful. But compassion does not speak. It is silent. It acts. It works. So, one has to understand that to get to truth, to get to reality, one has to cross the barrier of mental activity. Unless and until you understand this simple point, it's going to be difficult to give realization to people. This is the basic trouble in the Western countries, that they think they can conceive truth through their mental projections. And that's why they have many types of truths. So how do we achieve it? How do we conceive it? What is the way? How did we become human beings? From amoeba. Scientists must ask this question. How did we become? And why did we become? What was the purpose? Why the nature worked so hard to make us human beings? Is there any purpose of our life? We have not achieved our purpose. It's something in transition still. That's why there is confusion. There is confusion because we live on relative terminology, relative world. We are not in the absolute. Everything becomes absolute when you feel it on the central nervous system. Now the confusion also comes because we always accept something that comes to us very new. Anything new. We want to jump into it. Anything new we see, try it, why not? If you say, why do you do it? They'll say, what's wrong? We are seeking God, we are seeking the truth. We must go to hell even if it comes as true. Maybe anything new we try. But not in our lives, we don't do that way. When we have to discover something about anything, say about electricity, we do not just try something new, but what we try through the knowledge of the past, through the tradition of finding it out. We try to find out how far it has gone and where have we to reach. But in spirituality, we want to try everything that is new. And the shopping starts. Because we have not known what is the truth. Like somebody told me in Pune that there are some people who are very sick, group of people, very learned people, very sick. They are suffering from high blood pressure, cancer, they are suffering from heart troubles and diabetes, very serious patients. And they are all seekers. I called them, I said, what's the matter with you? Why should you suffer? They said, we have a guru. I said, if you have a guru, there's more reason you should not suffer at all. Why? Why is it? So they said the thing is, you see, the name of the guru was one Mr. Gulwani. Names are also very funny of these people, I must say. But he said, this gentleman, that there's something called Shaktipat. I said, what is that? I've never heard. There's something called Arunopai, Tarunopai. I said, I've never heard of these things. From where does it come? It's not in the Vedas. It's not in any Puranas. Even Adi Shankaracharya has not described it. Nanaka has not talked about it. Kabira has never said anything. And of all the persons, Gyaneshwara, he never mentioned it. What are you talking about? So they gave me a book which was written 70 years back by some madcap, I think, giving some new ideas. And all of them are mad after it without finding out. And they are saying that when the Kundalini is awakened, people get the heat, they become mad. In that book it was written that people start jumping like frogs. Imagine. Are you going to become now frogs? I don't know what happens to logic when it comes to religion. It's very surprising that those educated people in India should forget all that was written about Kundalini, all that was said about self-realization from ancient times, one after another in an evolutionary way, and suddenly take to something so stupid as that. Like a tree grows, a seed. Through the living process becomes the tree. And suddenly you jump onto a plastic flower saying, oh, this is something new. It has no relevance whatsoever with the tree. You may tie it up to the tree and say, oh, that's the flower coming out of the tree. This is one of the biggest nags in the seeking of the seekers of modern times. I came that time, long time back, and I warned people, be careful. I didn't know this kind of madness was going to come up. But I felt there's something funny about that. So somebody comes and turns your Agya Chakra, you start seeing light. It's an experience. It's just a sensation it is. What have you become? If you can see the light, then you are not the light, definitely. What have you become is the point. I feel very nice, good. Is that the thing you were seeking? What do you expect to be? So first of all, we must understand that your seeking must be relevant to what has been sought before in every seeking. Let's take Christ. They don't like to take his name these days. It's become so funny. Thanks to all the religions that were created out of these great incarnations on this earth. Whether take it Hinduism, Christianity, everything just the same. So what did he say? He said, you are to be born again. All right? So they put a certificate, born again, self-certified born agains walking around. And when I said that, 4 or 5 of them got up with a Bible in their hand to hit me. And I just felt like laughing and really laughing at them. By hitting me, are they going to become self-realized? Are they going to be reborn? You must face the truth as it is. If you want to avoid it, it's very easy. But this is the last chance. Human beings has learnt many things but has forgotten one thing. That every time we have missed the truth, let us not miss it again. So Christ said, you are to be born again. Nicodemus says, that means should I enter into the womb of my mother? Because after all, Nicodemus was a Roman. Indians won't ask such a question. They know what it is to be born again. But after all, a Roman gentleman, you see. So Christ explains, whatever is born of flesh is flesh. You have to be born again by the Holy Ghost. Who is the Holy Ghost? What did he mean? Christ was allowed to exist somehow or other for 3.5 years only. What is 3.5 years amongst ignorant people? What can you explain to them? What can you talk to them? I came here 72. Four years I was struggling with 7 hippies in London. What could Christ do? How could he tell you what was the Holy Ghost? Kundalini is the Holy Ghost. Reflected within. That's the Holy Ghost, which is to be awakened spontaneously as a living process. And as a living process, you have to become something just like a flower becoming a fruit. Transformation has to take place. In Sanskrit language, they call a bird as Dvijaha, and also a Brahmin, the one who has known the Brahma, the one who has felt the all-pervading power, is also called as Dvijaha, meaning born twice. But an egg becomes a bird. It's not some self-certification like we are Christians, like we are Muslims, like we are Hindus, or we are the twice born, or whatever you may say. And we are quite satisfied with this self-certification. And we accept, all right, so I am this, I am that. You are nothing but you are the spirit. That's what you have to become. Becoming is the point. It's not a mental projection, an illusion, but the becoming is important. And how do you become that? What do you do about it? Simple question. What did you do to become a human being? Did you cut your tails? No, you did not. You became spontaneously with a living process. What is that power which has worked out this process of our evolution? And the same power is going to trigger that last happening where you become the spirit. Let us accept very humbly that this is what the nature has to do. But if you say it is effortless, they can't believe it. How can it be? You must have
So we're going to wrap up our virtual soak there, and to say thanks, Troy, for that wonderful clearing and guided meditation there, and that absolutely wonderful talk from Shri Mataji.
Thank you.
So I don't know that we really want to say too much more about it. And shortly we'll finish our meditation. Troy, would you like to just take us through that? We can raise our Kundalini and give ourselves a bandhan.
Yeah. So just everyone knows how to do that, I'm sure, but just raise our Kundalinis, lifting up all the way up, tying a knot, bring our hands back down, in the base of the spine, just rotating the hand around all the way up to the top of the head, 2 knots, the 2 channels. Bring your hands back down. And the third time, with 3 channels, we do 3 knots. Bring your hands slowly down, and then the bandhan, scooping over 7 times for each chakra. The protection, so 1 for Mudaras, 2 Swadhisthana, 3 Navi, 4 Manaha, 5 Vishuddhi, 6 Agnya, 7 Sahasrara. Nice to do prayer, namaskar, prayer position, just to be thankful for the blessings that you've received. Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you. So, as I said at the outset, tonight is the last of our twice weekly follow-up sessions, as it were, from the February 21-day course where we all started with this. And so from next week, basically we're going to continue, but once a week on Wednesday at the same time. And the theme is going deeper in meditation. But I'm sure we've all gone very deeply into meditation today and in all the sessions that have gone before as well. So just to sort of mark the end of this particular follow-up series, I'd like to just thank everybody, my co-hosts, so that's Tyrone, Leah, Ariane, Rachel, and Rita. And the presenters, all of them, there's too many to mention by name, but certainly tonight Troy represents all of them. So thanks very much, Troy. That was absolutely wonderful to have you join us tonight. And but also, I guess most of all, we have to say thank you to the technical people behind the scenes. They've been absolutely amazing. So we've got, again, Rita, who's on tonight with Path. Then we've had Kanan from Sydney all along the way. We've had Sydney, not Sydney from Sydney, but as in Sydney from Perth, and Mitya, who's here in Perth also. I don't think I've missed anybody. And Chris, yeah, Chris has also been really, I guess, a key person because he's been, in many ways, the producer of the series along with Orion. So he's been organising people and so he's done an absolutely wonderful job of that and will continue to do that as we go forward. And also Sue in South Australia. Thanks, Sue. Sue has been putting up things on WhatsApp, reminding us what's coming up on the day, and then posting the recordings of all of these sessions as well. So speaking of WhatsApp, there's going to be a new WhatsApp group that everybody who's been a part of this series to join. So it'll just be new group that will basically take us into this next intermediate phase, the going phase. Again, it'll be once a week on Wednesdays at the same time. So look out for that invitation to the WhatsApp group, and you'll be able to join, presumably. Anyway, there'll be more details in messages that come out on WhatsApp. So, Tyrone, what else is there that we have to do before we go to listen to some wonderful music?
I think you guys have covered it beautifully. I've just been witnessing it all. I've got nothing to add.
Okay. So also we just have to thank, I did mention Rachel, but also Charles in Sydney. A big thank you to Charles, because in many ways he's been right from the very outset. In fact, late last year when these 21-day series began, he's been like the technical overlord. I hope you won't mind me saying that. But thank you, Charles, for all your work all along.
Was it Richata? Is it Richata as well? The other girl from Queensland?
Yeah, well, that's right. There are the whole 21-day series started in Queensland, in Australia, and there's a group of people over there, including Rachita, Vaibhav, and so on, that really kicked this off, and it's been rolling from one state to another, and then more recently overseas to North America, Malaysia, and so on. So thanks to everybody. And yeah, I guess we'll continue. We'll all be sort of continuing on from next Wednesday. Not all at the same time, but at different times. And so we're going to finish tonight with a beautiful devotional bhajan, Kiti Varnavi, which was composed by one of the very sort of first Sahaja Yoga musical groups in India, Nilmal Sangeet Sarita, a group who played many times for Shri Mataji and inspired many other groups since then to get together. People, Sahaja Yogas get together and perform devotional music throughout the world. So, yeah, thanks again to everybody. Thanks, Tyrone. Thanks, Troy. And go out with this music. Please stay around if you can. And otherwise, we'll see you on Wednesday.